There are 5 RV brands that mechanics are quietly refusing to work on in 2026. You need to know their names before you sign. We cross-referenced a decade of NHTSA recall data with thousands of lemon law filings and independent service reports. The catastrophic failures are concentrated in a handful of lines owned by the same 2 corporations, Thor Industries and Forest River. Today we are opening the service records and dismantling these brands piece by piece. Stop shopping like a consumer. Start thinking like an auditor. First, on the Blacklist. Keystone, a Thor Industries subsidiary and one of the highest volume RV lines in America. Keystone units suffer from the highest rate of a condition called delamination. This is not cosmetic, it is structural. The exterior walls separate from the frame. Keystone uses thin fiberglass glued to inexpensive Lauan plywood with a water-soluble adhesive. When a roof seal cracks, water gets into the wall, dissolves the bond, and the wood rots from the inside out. Bubbles form on the sidewalls. Once it starts, the unit is worthless, and no dealer will take it as a trade-in. Multiple owners report freshwater tanks falling out at highway speed, held by thin straps with self-tapping screws instead of structural bolts. A full tank adds 300 to 500 pounds. The screws shear off. Delamination follows a predictable timeline. Expect it 3 to 5 years after purchase, typically 1 to 2 years after the warranty expires. That is not a coincidence. Second, Heartland, another Thor subsidiary, specializes in fifth wheels and toy haulers. Frame flex. The welds connecting the front cap to the sidewalls crack under towing stress. The structure moves independently of the walls. Check the silicone seal where side molding meets the front cap, and if it is splitting, the frame is failing. The cause is simple. Heartland reduced the steel gauge to cut cost while making trailers larger and heavier. Less material, more load. The welds were never sized for highway forces over thousands of miles. The fix, stripping the entire front skin and re-welding, runs upwards of $10,000. Most owners discover it after the warranty. The repair often exceeds the unit's value, economically totaled while still standing. Before buying any used Heartland fifth wheel, grab the front cap and push it, and if it moves independently of the sidewall, walk away. Third, Forest River Cherokee and Salem are owned by Berkshire Hathaway, the second largest RV manufacturer in America by volume. Forest River assembly workers are paid by the unit, not by the hour. Piece rate pay increases the incentive for speed. The result is documented across thousands of owner reports and lemon law filings. Owners find construction debris sealed inside walls, such as sawdust, glue bottles, and food wrappers. Electrical wires are sometimes stapled through insulation, creating a serious fire hazard. Plumbing is often kinked around corners. Cabinet screws commonly miss their studs. A wire stapled through its insulation can heat under load, melt through its jacket, and arc against the staple. RV electrical fires are one of the leading causes of total loss. Forest River has ranked among the top manufacturers for NHTSA recall volume over the past decade. If you find a used Forest River at a low price, budget $400 to $600 for a pre-purchase inspection by an NRVIA, a certified inspector. If the seller refuses inspection, that is your answer. Fourth, Jayco. And this is the most tragic name on the list. Jayco was founded in 1968 by Lloyd Bontrager in Middlebury, Indiana. Family-owned, rooted in Amish craftsmanship. Owners of Jayco units from the 1990s and early 2000s describe them as overbuilt and reliable. Heavier framing, real wood cabinetry, hand-inspected systems, multi-generational loyalty. That era ended in 2016 when Thor Industries acquired Jayco for $576 million. Since the acquisition, modern Jayco units suffer from the same delamination and other defects found in Thor platform trailers. They use cheap staples instead of screws, plastic plumbing fittings that crack after one freeze-thaw cycle, particle board replacing real wood, and the same water-soluble adhesive that causes delamination across the entire Thor family. Thor charges a premium for the Jayco name based on a reputation the company no longer earns. You're paying for a sticker, not engineering. The company that built your grandfather's trailer does not exist anymore. The loophole is to buy models made before 2016. Look for models from 2010 to 2015, old enough for family-era build quality and new enough for modern layouts. Inspect for water damage, but expect significantly better materials than anything on the line today. Fifth, and this one is controversial, Airstream. Airstream trailers can exceed $150,000. For that price, you expect perfection. Instead, leaking rivets, water-damaged subfloors, and appliances failing within the first year are common. The same failures appear in $20,000 trailers. The aluminum shell uses thousands of rivets. Aluminum expands and contracts with temperature. Imprecise tolerances mean thermal cycling opens the holes, seals degrade, and water enters. In a $30,000 trailer, a leaking rivet is an annoyance. In a $150,000 Airstream, it is a betrayal. Owners document subfloor damage on units less than 3 years old, with soft spots and mold under the flooring. Repairs require gutting the interior and cost $5,000 to $15,000. A 2025 Globetrotter costs $165,000. A used 2018 Oliver Legacy Elite double-hull fiberglass with no rivets and no wood costs $50,000 to $70,000 and holds its value. For the price of one leaking Airstream, you could buy an Oliver and a truck to tow it. Want the Airstream look? Buy vintage from the 1960s to the 1980s. Thicker aluminum, hand-riveted construction, and tighter tolerances make a restored vintage Airstream an heirloom. A new one is a depreciating logo. Here is the rule. The sticker on the side tells you who sold it. The frame underneath tells you who built it. They are not the same company anymore. 5 brands. 5 engineering failures the manufacturers knew about before the unit left the factory. Delamination, frame flex, piece rate assembly, legacy brand gutting, $150,000 in rivet leaks. Every one is a cost reduction decision disguised as a product. 4 of these 5 brands are owned by Thor Industries. That is not a coincidence. That is a business model. Buy the name, strip the quality, sell the nostalgia. Keystone, Heartland, Jayco, Airstream, different stickers, but the same corporate mandate. Next time on Quality Rot, the 5 RV brands that actually hold their value. Molded fiberglass, welded aluminum, and factory direct builders that chose integrity over volume. Subscribe so you do not miss it.